Right, we're down here at Stanningley at Leeds Rhinos summer camp. And I'm here with my best mates in the team. That's Tommy Briscoe, that's Anthony Mullally, and Big Baldy Bouncer. So we're going to do a bit of a Q&A and see what the kids want to pick our brains with. So let's see.
Hi, my name's Kara. My favourite player is Jordan Lilly, the legend. And my question is, how well do you think you've played this season?
I think as a team, obviously, where we're sitting at the minute, everyone's a bit disappointed and it's not been up to the high standards that we're used to as a team. But like the guys have said, we're looking to finish strong this year and be looking to build onto that into the off-season and have another crack at it next year. Personally, I think steadily improving. Obviously, I've been out for a long time and I'd like to think now my performances are picking up a bit and trying to just keep improving and like I say, going into the off-season with a bit of confidence.
Yeah, good question. I think as a team we've not performed as we want to do, and there's a group of excuses what we could say. You know, Kirkstall got flooded and we've had lots of injuries, and that's to a lot of leaders. So the team's being led by a set of players and then they get injured, so they have to fall back, and then we have to create other leaders. So that's gone on all year. But I think the main thing is we'll have learned from this year. So going into next year, we'll be a lot better for it, and hopefully we'll be there right from the off and challenging at the top of the table again.
How much tries have you scored?
I've scored 2 this season, and it's me 4th season in Super League, so I've probably averaged about 3 a year, so not that many really. He's got a bit more than me.
Having been injured for most of the season, I've not quite hit the heights of where I've been in past seasons, but getting a hat-trick at the weekend, I was pretty happy with that.
What time of the year do you players reach your peak of playing?
So usually we're aiming to peak at around this time of the season, coming into the playoffs, into the Challenge Cup finals, into grand finals. Unfortunately this year we're not involved in any of those, but we're fighting for our status in Super League, so we're aiming to peak still at this time of the year in order to get in Super League for next year.
What was your first ever injury and how did you do it?
My first ever injury was when I was 15, playing for Hunslet Warriors, and I went to hand a guy off in the face, and when I did it, I broke my wrist right in the middle there, so I had to go to hospital, get it all pinned, and it took me about 8 weeks for it to fix up and be back to normal.
Well, a couple of little niggles, but say my worst injury was last season when I broke my ankle and done syndesmosis playing against New Zealand in the first 5 minutes, so yeah, that's probably worse and like most inconvenient injury I've had.
Yeah, I've had a few tough injuries. One of them is, does everyone know where their shoulder blade is? At your back. Well, I was handing someone off backing into the defence, and someone's shoulder came into my arm and it dislocated my shoulder, and my shoulder blade came all the way over the top. So that's a pretty gruesome one. I was out for 9 months with that, and I've had a catalogue of injuries actually, and so I've created a magazine and something that looks at all sides of life. So it can be dark sides, it can be good sides, and this magazine, it helps people that have tough times or tough injuries, and whether that's physical or whether they're struggling mentally. So that's what I've tried to do, because I think I've been through the mill a bit, but hopefully if you guys get a bit older you can have a look into the magazine and see what you think.
So, Callum, what are the camps about and what will we be doing?
So the Leeds Rhinos summer camps are 2-day events, and it gives a chance for all kids from across all ends of Yorkshire, all ends of England to come take part in some core skills, some fun and games, some activities across 2 days. All players will get the chance to meet the professionals who play for the Rhinos first team, and all camp attendees will also get the chance to go and view a game at Headingley Carnegie Stadium with their free ticket that they receive on the Leeds Rhinos summer camp.
Can anybody come to the camps?
Yes, anybody can come to the camp from ages 6 to 14, boys and girls. What we do like we put advertisements on Twitter, so everybody can see that when the camps are, where the venue's at, and what time you need to be there. Like I said, it's 6 to 14 boys and girls, and you can come along and play some fun activities.
How can people get involved in the camps next year?
So the Leeds Rhinos Foundation do the promos for the camps, so wherever we're at hosting the camps. So today we're at Stanningley. We do a promo night. We invite all the current teams that are playing at this club, as well as advertising the camps on social media, so on our Twitter and Facebook, and you can also find out all the information on the website.
How could I be a good rugby player?
Yeah, you can be a good rugby player by practicing away at home with your friends from school or friends on your streets.
I'm just going to ask Baldy a few questions on what he's got from the camp. I remember, if Barry Mack watches this, I remember a drill that he taught me when I was about 8 years old. I'm just wondering if there's any different experiences, Baldy, that you picked up, and what do you think the worth is in camps like this?
Oh, it's massive for the young kids, you know, especially the ones that are really young. You know, you need to get them interested into the game. And I suppose the best way of doing it is camps like this that, you know, when they're on their summer holidays and then they've got nothing to do and they're just messing around at home, you bring them to these camps, they get to run around, they get to experience what it's like, and, you know, obviously it's great because we've got the foundation that brings us players in to come and see these young children, and, you know, it brings a smile to their faces. I think it's a valuable lesson for, like, you know, coaches that are trying to, like, bring this game in, you know, in England. You know, we need to get it as high as possible, so getting the young kids interested is probably where it should all start, and it's probably the most important thing.
Hi guys, welcome back to Implexus. This week we're looking at an in-season programme. Obviously the guys at the end of the week will have a game, so there's miles less volume than there was in the pre-season programme. We also want them to be moving nice and quick, so we don't go as heavy as we did before. We use a lot of bands. Cuthbert loves a band, peppers me about using bands in nearly enough every session, but they have a really good effect in terms of your acceleration of your weights reps. Still using the superset format, so it's nice and time efficient. The guys have got loads of video to do, loads of skill work to try and get prepared for the game at the end of the week. So we're still trying to be time efficient. Try and limit the pressing stuff during the season as well. They have a lot of combat sessions where they're practicing all the tackling, all that kind of stuff, and then they've got the game. So we use things like the shoulder shocker, which is something that I picked up from Joe DeFranco in America. There's no pressing movements within that, so it's a little bit more friendly to your shoulders. Then the trap bar deadlift, stuff like that, we start doing jumps instead of the trap bar deadlift static, just to try and increase the speed that they're moving during the game. Exercise number 1. So we've got Kelly, he's going to demonstrate as the banded bench press. The emphasis here is on speed, not weight. He's going to move the bar real quick off his chest, nice and explosive. That's what gives Kelly speed and power. He's really good at this sort of stuff. The bands are a real good tool for us. They make it harder at the top and easier at the bottom as well, so they take off a little bit of strain on your shoulders. Real good fast reps, that Cal. Exercise number 2. So we've got Cal demonstrating the shot put throw. It's a nice dynamic full body movement. It's not just working his upper body, it's working his core and his legs too. If you don't have a spare tom hanging around, throw against the wall, let the ball roll back to you. Exercise number 3. So Cal's here demonstrating the trap bar jump. It's really easy to teach and really easy to do, a lot easier than Olympic lifts. Arguably you can get more benefits out of it as well. Especially for guys with sore shoulders, it's a really good exercise for them. Exercise number 4. Cal's demonstrating a box jump here. Obviously the guys need speed and power for the positions they play and the sport they're playing. This does all those things, nice bit of counter movement, lands nice and softly at the top, with his hips above his knees, making it nice and safe. Steps off, no issues. Exercise number 5. Okay, so even though we're in the mid-season program, you still need to get some volume into the legs. We use a goblet squat because it's nice and back-friendly. There's very little spinal compression forces or anything like that. And he can just work his legs nicely without causing any issues. If he's got any injuries, they won't be aggravating him too much. Exercise number 6. Obviously in rugby, core strength, really important. So Cal's going to demonstrate an ab rollout. It's a nice anti-extension core exercise for him. He's really concentrating on not letting his lumbar spine, that's the bottom of your back, collapsing at the bottom. If you do, don't roll out quite as far, because it is not a good thing. Exercise number 7. Okay, so the last exercise of the day is the shoulder shocker. It's off a guy in America called Joe DeFranco, who does a lot of work with NFL players. It's a real shoulder burner without too much attrition of the pressing movements. What you'll do is 8 each side of these, 8 of those, and then 8 of the last one, Cal. Nice. All in succession, no rest. By the time you get to the end, your shoulders will be burning, even if you're using some small dumbbells.